to meet the players. Would you please welcome Woody, Luke, Woodhouse, and Smudger Ross Smith!
So then our first match of the night comes from Group G. Ross Smith faces Luke Woodhouse. This, the same group as Michael Van Gerwen and Nathan Rafferty, those two face off a little later this evening. It's been a good few weeks for Ross Smith, hasn't it? Picked up his first TV ranking title in his first TV final at the European Championship in Dortmund, put in some performance as well to beat Michael Smith in that final. This just his third appearance here at the Grand Slam. In the previous two, well, he didn't make it out the group. Luke Woodhouse came through the qualifier last Sunday to make it here for the very first time. So how will his debut go? In the comms box for our first tie of the night, good evening to Mark Webster and Dan Dawson.
Yeah, good evening, Emma. As you say, a third appearance at the Grand Slam of Darts for Ross Smith. His first appearance, he was one of the bright young things in the world of darts back in 2013. He was the Challenge Tour Order of Merit winner, and that was the Youth Tour back in those times. He appeared in 2019 as well. That's kind of when he was in a second stage of his career. He'd actually walked away from the game of darts for a good year, 18 months. And now he appears for a third time as a major champion, the reigning European champion. He has arrived. You can chart his career by his Grand Slam appearances. Will we be able to chart it by his Grand Slam performances? Because play here like he did in Dortmund at the European Championship, and he is a real contender.
Yeah, well, it's fair to say this is the best version of Ross Smith, and it's stating the obvious. He's just become a major champion. He's lost his previous 6 matches in this event, but his game, his headspace is in a great spot at the minute. And what was remarkable about him playing that final, it's as if he didn't know he was in a final, Dan. He approached like any other game, which we always say you need to do in a final, but it's hard to do. Ross Smith did it. He was the best player, and a fantastic achievement, and he'll be riding the crest of a wave in a minute.
Yeah, I'm not going to bore you with stats, but he played 5 games in that European Championship. He averaged over 103 times, including in the final, and his average didn't drop below 95 in any single game. That is going to give you a chance of going deep into tournaments. But don't rule out Luke Woodhouse, because he's played some very good stuff this year. It is quite a rare thing for him to see him in a big TV tournament. He's not a player who's qualified for things like the World Grand Prix or the match play before. And this is his first appearance at the Grand Slam of Darts, but
progress, Dan, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, he gets in my head, he's been in the World, he's had a good run in the World, but the next step is you need to appear at the Grand Prix, the match play. He's got himself here. He won 4 matches to get here, actually, in the qualifiers, and he played some good stuff in there. There was 107 average amongst against Danny Baggish. He was 3-0 down to Gabriel Clemens in the final qualifying round, and Luke Woodhouse is a player that can be very hard on himself, so for him to recover from 3-0 down is a great achievement, because he does give a lot away on that stage, but he's a player that's improving, and it's indicated by the fact he's qualified for this year's Grand Slam.
Now then, that's the first maximum, and Ross Smith applying the pressure on the Luke Woodhouse throw.
Needs to pin that treble, gets it, double 16 for the hold the throw, and lucky Luke Woodhouse. But these are 2 players as well, actions that are very no-nonsense, Dan, aren't they? They're pretty basic, not a great deal can break down with him.
Double 16 to break throw. Well, it's his finishing that was absolutely stupendous from start to finish in that successful European Championship campaign, and he started absolutely brilliantly here.
15 data to break throw. Ross Smith. The other 2 players in this group, Michael Van Gerwen and Nathan Rafferty. So this is a tight group. we all expect Michael van Gerwen to win the group, but it's not a given. Nathan Rafferty, very capable, as are these two. And again, it's a group that probably hasn't been given the attention it deserves, just because of Group H that everyone's talking about.
These two have run into each other over the years a number of times, but nothing of this stature. All Pro Tour stuff, or even Youth Tour stuff back in the day. And a maximum for Luke Woodhouse.
Good from Luke Woodhouse, good response.
He might have a few friends and family. He's only down the road in Worcestershire in Bewdley. This is kind of a local tournament for Luke Woodhouse, about as local as it gets.
Local event, you think of Wayne Jones had a run to the semi-finals here. Luke Woodhouse loved to emulate that, and back-to-back 180s is giving him a great chance to break straight back here. What a start to this match.
58.
Well, I know it's early days, but it's a dream start for Luke Woodhouse. Just looks very confident up there. And why wouldn't you be after that superb 11-darter?
You made the good point, Dan. It's a local event, and dart players spend 90% of tournaments in hotels. And chances are Luke's going to be just coming from home. He's in the comfort of his own home, and it's got to help him in having that home support. And you're thinking a week ago, this is just a big bonus to Luke Woodhouse. He's in minor, he's in the Worlds, and he's thinking, right, let's have a go at the playoffs. And he's still progressing, but to get through those playoffs, and like I said, he beat Labanowski's Hempel. Florian Hempel, who's qualified for the Worlds yesterday. Congratulations to him. Danny Baggish in what was a real quality affair. Then Gabriel Clemens. He's had to go for a really tough draw just to get here, Woodhouse.
Yeah, Danny Baggish is actually here watching tonight. I don't know if there was any sort of pat on the back or high five as he walked on stage. Yeah, thanks for knocking me out the qualifier with 107 average, pal. All the best through gritted teeth.
Lucky for Smudger. You mentioned that run when he won the European Championship. The game for me, the Peter Wright game, 8-3 down, right at a dart for 9-3. And from then it was all Ross Smith, and the tournament then was really all about Ross Smith. But if this match is going to be about Ross Smith, he's going to have to dig in, because this is real quality stuff from Luke Woodhouse. He's averaging just shy of 114. We are only in the third leg, but I'm indicating if there was any nerves, he's not showing them.
Well, may not need to take this out in this visit. He could take it out in this visit. Not going to happen. But if he can just leave himself handy, there's a very, very high probability he's going to come back and tidy it up for a 2-1 lead, and that will do very nicely for Woody.
But he may not get a go. Look at this. Ross Smith, this would hurt. Oh, what a shot from Ross Smith. It's 3 breaks of throw. Woodhouse, and look at that for sportsmanship. He applauds the shot, but Woodhouse will be devastated. That is why he's the European champion, and look what it means to Ross Smith. 3 breaks, he leads again.
Ross Smith, the European champion, underlining his status with the highest check out of the tournament so far. And it will take some beating.
The 170 is the party piece shot, Dan, but it's an easier shot than 164. Is that to move targets? But that was incredible, and hats off to both these players. 3 legs in. They're not missing much.
He does go to the 18s. Woodhouse can't leave a finish from 3-4-3, so he kind of do what he wants, really. No trebles, whatever route you go for, does allow Woodhouse a chance to get back in this.
Woodhouse, well, I'll be disappointed with that 164. He's got to tell himself, he'll know he's playing well up there. You just he'll just know he's feeling comfortable, he's hitting the big scores, he's just unlucky that he's 2-1 down, that a bit of class hasn't done him, but he's just got to keep chipping away. He's broken Ross Smith already in an 11-darter, so he knows it's there and he can produce. But what a start to the opening match here.
That point doesn't appear to be touching. It can only be a few more points, even if it were. Oh no, he did get 4, did he?
4 extra points, lucky Luke Woodhouse. But still, Ross Smith in control of this leg. This isn't a great setup. It's an opening for Woodhouse. Got to do his bit here, though.
Yeah, Ross Smith may only get a dart at bullseye. Admittedly, that's all he needed in the last leg.
57.
Maybe not enough pressure.
88.
I mentioned the Group H lineup: Luke Humphries, Ryan Searle, Josh Rock, Scott Williams. That runs parallel with this group. So winner of this faces runner-up and so on. So it's a nasty little section of the draw.
Double top
48.
is missed. Now, he's already hit Luke Woodhouse with that haymaker of a 164. Can Luke Woodhouse hit back with a 146?
A couple of treble 19s, a couple of treble 20s. That's generally the way. You don't want to start switching targets, but it hasn't worked out for Luke Woodhouse. And for the first bit of breathing space, Ross Smith for a 3-1 lead. And our first holder throw in this match.
Working his way down expertly from the European champ. Well, when you play in short format, you can see odd things happen in the averages, but right now Ross Smith is averaging about 11 points less than Luke Woodhouse, although the gap will close after that visit.
Yeah, that last leg was winning 21 darts. But it's all about the 164, isn't it? Change the path of this tie. With Luke Woodhouse waiting on the double. Smith takes the 164, and that's why he's got that control, but it's not a massive advantage. One breaker throw against the darts as well.
And Luke Woodhouse has only had 2 darts at double in this match so far. Ross Smith has had 7. The thing is, the one real chance that had to go did go for Ross Smith, and that's been the difference.
Ross Smith, like we said, lost his previous 6 matches here. He was in a group with Michael Van Gerwen the last time he's here, along with Adrian Lewis and Jim Williams. So he's familiar with some of his group opponents. Not so familiar with Nathan Rafferty, but looking forward to seeing how he fares against Michael Van Gerwen later on.
Well, no wins out of 6 is a dreadful record, however you look at it. But no wins out of 6, including a defeat to Mark Webster, all of a sudden it gets worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, I didn't want to say, but he's in a better place than he was then. 2013 version of Ross Smith, the one I played, compared to this one. This is a winner, Dan, and I wondered if winning that one event, will it open up doors for more events? We saw Gerwyn Price win his first event, the Grand Slam in 2018. He's gone on to win multiple titles. I'm not putting Ross in that bracket yet, but he looks very confident, doesn't he?
Well, he said something after his European Championship when he said, look, everyone has got to win it for the first time once. It was the same for Peter Wright, the same for Gerwyn Price, the same even for Michael Van Gerwen. If you're going to go and win loads of major titles, that first one is always going to be the one that people think is the most unlikely, or for most players. But a third maximum from Luke Woodhouse asks a question of Smudger. Does he have the answer? No, he does not.
Yeah. Woodhouse deserves this chance. It'd have been harsh if he'd gone 4-1 down. He's got to finish the tops. He does. Good leg from Woodhouse. He still believes. That gets him back within 1, and you hang on in there. We saw Christian Perez this afternoon, whilst he collapsed a little bit in the deciding leg. He just hung on to Danny Noppert and had a chance to win the game. And this is a similar scenario here. Woodhouse knows one break, and he's back in control.
Well, you mentioned at the start of the match that Luke has had a habit at times of beating himself up. and it doesn't feel like that gives him the best chance of turning things around. Here, there's none of that, but he knows he's playing all right. He's playing some decent stuff.
He's a really good, determined player, Luke Woodhouse, and like I said, if he keeps things in check, he's really difficult to beat. He's at his 4th consecutive World Championship this year, as I said, so he's sort of... 95. That's addressed. He qualifies for the back end. He's got enough about him, but he was marginally missing out on the European Championships. He's got in here. He's knocking on the doors of other events now, Luke Woodhouse, and that is the next step. He'll be challenging himself to get out of his group here, to be in the World Match Play in the World Grand Prix next year. They're the strides he needs to take. But he's going in the right direction, Luke Woodhouse.
Certainly is here. Very much the right direction. 180, number 4. And a chance to break back.
We're talking about Ross Smith, European champion. He's hit that 164. Luke Woodhouse has been the better player here. His average is higher, more 180s. 67% on the doubles, 2 from 3. And possibly we'll get another visit. And he tees up, but he did leave 36 when Ross on 164 earlier, so he'll be fearing the worst here, Luke Woodhouse, particularly if that first dart pins up in the treble 20.
Well, he went the 18s route, and that's not worked out for him. So Lightning is not going to strike twice. He is going to leave himself handily placed. Now, Luke, you didn't get a chance last time on 36. This time you do. Make it count.
Deserves his chance, Woodhouse. Now then, this is the dart. Good guide. Edgy. Gets there. Deserves that, Luke Woodhouse. We have a level game. And Woodhouse has kept chipping away at Ross Smith. And we're at a best of 3. And the local boy, Woodhouse, has got the darts in this 7th leg and the 9th leg if needed. Been impressed with Luke Woodhouse.
Very much so. The standout display from Luke Woodhouse in his career, the one that most people will go to as the example of, yeah, he could be a very, very handy player, is in beating Michael Smith at the World Championship. Now, in that game, over a number of sets, he averaged 99. That's his highest TV average. He's in that ballpark here. I know you're comparing apples with oranges when you're talking best of 5 sets and best of 9 legs, but he's at that standard.
He's beat Paul Lim at the World as well. That takes him doing.
Some people never manage it.
Yeah. But no, when he got to the Worlds, like you said, that Michael Smith game, he just looked the part on stage, didn't he? And he doesn't get there often enough. He's just the world's mind. But like I said, he's here now and quitting himself really well, Woodhouse.
Going on the 19s, because a couple of trebles. Don't think that one's in there. Can't find a second one to leave a finish, but he's still got his nose in front. It's a narrow, fragile lead, though.
Another treble here. Even the 140, would it have panicked Luke Woodhouse much? It obviously leaves a finish, but this is where his set of play's got to be good, and that just shows a little bit of edginess, and that's natural. His first appearance here, and he's played well, but he wants to close it out, but he's allowing Ross Smith an opportunity in this leg.
Could go to the bullseye here, and does. Leaves himself a 2-darter. This is a big ask.
A couple of treble 19s for double 18, or a couple of treble 20s for double 15. You generally don't see players switch around now, the 60-54 route. It's unlucky. So Smith has forced the issue in this leg.
57.
Yeah, it's just dried up a little bit for Luke Woodhouse. He's banging the hands together there. He's frustrated.
14. Leaves double top.
31.
Now Luke Woodhouse has not led at any point in this game. Here is a chance. He's got a decision to make.
See, players go treble 19, just aggressive. No, he's gone, and that leaves it open. Didn't even entertain the treble. It was more of a maybe get a double. But this to lead, bullseye. It's a good effort. It could prove costly.
Was that the big chance? The chance to lead. Double 10. And Ross Smith is one away.
Ross Smith. He's given Large a lot in this match. I barely saw him do it in the European Championship final. He didn't even do it at the end, did he, really? He's just so calm, but he's fired up here tonight, Ross.
He just seemed to be playing in a bubble in Dortmund from start to finish, where nothing could penetrate through, and it allowed him to play some brilliant stuff. He's not been at that level tonight, but the 164 checkout could be the main moment in this game. Yes, he could have gone 4-3 down there, but he might not even been close if he hadn't been for that.
When you become a winner, though, you know you've got to find a way when you're not at your best, and Ross Smith so far is doing that here. But he knows the job isn't done yet, because Luke Woodhouse has responded pretty much to every setback so far. Maximum number 5 for Luke Woodhouse. Whitlock hit 5 in the opening match of the afternoon session. We're seeing it again here. Luke Woodhouse on this occasion, and he really needs them.
48.
Advantage Woodhouse in this leg once again. He's got a chance here, Luke Woodhouse. He would have the throw in the last leg decider.
100.
He's right to stay there. Sometimes see players go for the 25, but
the guide was too good.
Yeah, it was an open bed, wasn't it? The guide on the top wire, and there's no damage getting done here.
97.
Even that won't overly worry Luke Woodhouse. Possibly 6 to send us to a deciding leg. May not need him.
11 segment. A safe one to leave the bullseye again. And he's missed it narrowly again. And Ross Smith had an absolute heartbreaker of a 164 against him. He will not kill this game off with a 156.
Woodhouse has got a split now, isn't it? In hindsight, it's a great thing. You're thinking, why did that? Yeah, and Ross knows. He gives it some there. He knows that 25 is easily missable. 9 for double 8. And there's some nerves in that 9. But there isn't in that double 8. Luke Woodhouse gets his deciding leg, and he's got the throw. Will it be more Grand Slam misery for Ross Smith? Or can he find yet another break? He needs to. Otherwise, the opening points in this group will go to the local boy, Luke Woodhouse.
He has not managed to lead at any point in this game, but you could argue he's been the better player for the vast majority of it. And that is a 6th 180 for Luke Woodhouse. Has he got this one in the bag?
It's in his hands now. Ross Smith may have to respond in kind, and he's... incredible. What a game, and back-to-back maxes to start the deciding leg. And if this is setting the tone for the evening's action, it's going to be some night ahead.
57.
Just the 57. He has gone from thinking he's got it in the bag to now petrified, terrified. 4 perfect darts.
100.
Smith stayed focused though, but it's still in the balance. Maybe Woodhouse was guilty, thinking the work was done with that 180. Yeah, a 180 followed by 6 darts without a treble. Now we're in for another twist in this opening match of Group G.
A real grimace from Luke Woodhouse as he walked back from the board there, but Ross Smith has let him off a little. Yes, he's first to a finish. Luke Woodhouse should get to a better one.
It's minimum ton. That's what he'd be telling himself. He's tightening up a little bit here, Luke Woodhouse, but look at that dart. Acceptable, I think he'd call that, wouldn't you?
He would, but he's about as close as you can get to a ton 40 that would have pretty much guaranteed a match dart if he's allowed back. He will be allowed back.
How's the setup from Ross Smith? If there's not a treble here, you look at the 25er ball. Gets the ball. He did that earlier on to leave 71. He's done it again here. But Woodhose gets a shot for what would be an incredible win for him. Needs a treble.
Can he find the treble? He can. It's a match start for Luke Woodhose to win it on his debut against the newly crowned European champion. Massive dart. And what a